yourself, the power in you. Your shield's what you've been through, and your mind is a weapon, put it to use. Power, 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 power. Nobody can stop you, you ahead of the curve. Sit there and listen and use what you learn. I know you got pain, there's blood on the curb. Money to get, stripes to earn. I'm here to confirm it's your turn. Your own superhero in your own world. You got the power like a generator. You need to dig deeper and you can thank me later. Put paint where it ain't, but you ain't no painter. Take steps and start running on them haters. Just be yourself, that should motivate you. It was good on the ones that hate you. Keep grinding, in due time you will climb. If you've been through it all, put it behind. You got the power, the real kind. Go ahead and shock the world right now. It's the power, can you feel it? Just be yourself, the power in you. Your shield's what you've been through, and your mind is a weapon, put it to use. Power, 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 power. With all the money in the world, you could be broke. Life is not a game, life is not a joke. Get your childish Gambino on and stay woke. Turn the power on and go at their throat. Everybody got power, it's how they use it. Seen it the other day, boy, it ain't a movie. Raw like sushi, nighttime gloomy. Dope fiends walking around, that's spooky. Dig deep, come on, man, bring it out. You can't bring it out sitting there on the couch. Go get uncomfortable and take it there. Use your powers right now and don't play fair. Give them a lesson and pull up a chair. It's your time right now, you feel it in the air. It's your time right now, I feel it in the air. Now you feeling the power, it's all there.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Kojay's Corner. That's right here. And I'm working on a new intro, but I don't know. I like that one. It still gets to me, especially with the ending thing, which we'll talk about. So today, without further ado, I have a special, dope, awesome guest today. As always, that's what we do here. He is a French superstar of the Snyder cut, Snyderverse, fandom movement, whatever you call it. This guy is the man. I'm very happy to have him here. And also, some plug here for Snyder Cut Fighters. He is one half of Snyder Cut Fighters Tag Team Champions with Mighty Pegasus. A show you all should be watching anyway. So that's all I'm going to say. But like I said, without further ado, we're going to bring in the man, Souphian.
What up, my man?
You have a blackout, my friend. I don't see you.
What?
Hey, we have you, bro.
It's finally working, bro.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
My man, how you doing?
I'm good. I was just saying that it's been a while trying to get this together, especially with the time differences.
Maybe a year.
No.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
horrible.
Probably a year. Probably a year.
Oh man.
I'm fine.
Life, man.
We already have more gray hair and gray blood.
Yeah, me, dude. I think you saw the transition this whole time.
Look at this.
No. Oh, I've never seen that. Oh, dang.
No,
right, live, ladies and gentlemen. This is all wisdom.
I started to get these. I was 20 years old, so it's not really about being old.
All right. Now you're showing off. I'm just kidding. Anyways, Snyder cut, Snyderverse, so much, man. It's been such a long road. I want to talk to you about you. You're the star. You're a hardcore, dedicated, passionate fan. Like, what came first to you? I have to ask everyone this: like the comics or Snyder's movies?
What was first?
Yeah, as being a fan of like either DC, or did you get to DC through Snyder's movies first, or did the comics you love the characters first?
I mean, it started when I was a kid with the movies and the animated show, the Batman animated show, the famous one, and then I was more on Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball really was my childhood, and I kind of was not really, because after that we didn't have so much content on DC, and Green Lantern came back, but it wasn't that good. I didn't really like it.
The movie or the show?
The movie.
Oh yeah, with Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. And Christopher Nolan put me back in the in the DC universe. So I started to read after maybe The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises. I started to read a little bit, and it was like just my introduction back into the world of DC. So of course I knew a lot about Batman because I've always been a Batman fan. But like Christopher Nolan made me a hardcore Batman fan, and I did not really care about Superman. But then, because for me, Superman, the cheesy Superman, the famous American way. You know, from France, I grew up. I grew up in another place, bro. And it's not something I could relate to. So Superman, I always saw it
like the hardy har, haha.
Exactly. It was. I grew up with Son Goku, with Goku, Gohan, stuff like that, and I was like, "That's cheesy guy. This is not for me." So I really couldn't relate to this character, and then Man of Steel came, and that was something very new. So I still remember the first time I saw Man of Steel in the theater when the Smallville fight happens, and you see Farah fighting the military guys like the with the super speed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And in my mind I was like, this guy just made a Dragon Ball movie. This guy can make make a Dragon Ball movie. And
dude, I had the same
my mind
thought.
just exploded. I was like,
I had the same thought because when I was not a Superman fan until later, like I think maybe mid 2000s, and the whole time I was watching Dragon Ball Z because I got on Dragon Ball Z in like the mid 90s, and I was like, why don't they do this with Superman? Because everything Goku has is pretty much Superman, you know, the origin story, the powers, the enemies. It's in the comics.
Almost the same character.
Oh, yeah, I was like, why don't you do this, but with Superman? And then when I saw Man of Steel, wish came true.
Exactly.
Especially with the Smallville fight, because I was like, oh dang, that's exactly it. Thank you.
And the end, if you love these people, this scene, the fight in the sky, I was witnessing. I was like testifying. This is my shit.
Yeah.
This is what I want. I was fighting. That's a real superhero movie where you're not holding back. You're just kicking his ass with using really your superpower. When he got into space, I was like, what the fuck is that on the satellite? And I did not see the Bruce Wayne Enterprise logo. And my cousin told me, did you see it? And I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, what the fuck? Bruce Wayne is here. Because BVS wasn't announced yet. What the fuck? What? Something is coming. And then started to read. And the wait for BVS was so hard that I started to buy comics. And you know, when Zack Snyder touched you, it's like, you can't go back.
You can't go back. No, not really. How was BVS for you when you saw that in theaters?
That's an interesting question because I liked it, but not as much as Man of Steel. I liked it better after, but it was because of all the mess that already started. So on
like the press?
Yeah, I mean, I saw not about the negative reaction from the press. I mean, it still makes you have some doubt, but and I saw it 5 times in theaters. But it's because we knew that 30 minutes was missing, and we knew people were trying to trash the movie, and even before the movie got released, the promo of the movie, I was like, sometimes, I mean, they just spoiled the movie by showing Doomsday in the trailer. So
Yeah.
when I saw that trailer, for me, the best trailer has always been not the teaser trailer, but the first one. Starting by "Today is a day of truth" with the senator
Oh,
talking.
okay, I know the
This
one
one
now.
with the music going. For me, it's a crazy trailer. And I remember before the movie came out, I saw only one time the second trailer when they showed Doomsday. And I couldn't resist to watch it. I didn't want to watch it, but I couldn't resist. And everyone was adding comment and saying this movie is going to be a masterpiece. So they hyped the trailer so much that I watched it. And when I saw, for me, the question of the movie was not who's going to win. It was how are they going to become friends again, because we have a Justice League coming. It was obvious. So
because I remember the slate of DC movies that was going to come before BVS came out. So I knew this was like part one of that whole universe, really. The world building begins now. And I saw, that's why I saw with a different lens, because when they showed Lex's drive of all the evidence of the other metahumans, that's when I was like, okay, they're getting the ball rolling. I see it. That's the whole point of this. So I knew they were going to kiss and make up, per se.
Yeah.
And I just want to see where it was going,
Exactly.
More than who was going to fight each other.
Yeah, I wanted to know how it's going to happen. And when they just showed Doomsday in the trailer, I was like, thank you. Now I know. Doomsday is coming. He's too strong. They need the help of Wonder Woman. Easy. So when I saw the movie, a lot of surprises did not surprise me, because the promotion of the movie was too bad. It was too intense, and it was wrong to tell people who's gonna win, who will win, Batman or Superman. We know they're not going to kill each other. So they were promoting it like a boxing fight or MMA fight, but in the end, a UFC fight. But the promotion, in my opinion, always been wrong on BVS and did not help the movie, because for me as a fan, I like the movie, but the general audience, they believed the promotion, and they were like, they wanted just a Marvel big superhero fight where Batman and Superman is gonna fight for maybe half hour. And no, they got another movie. It wasn't really the direction of the movie, and I did not understand. For me, it did not help. So, so my first watch of BVS, I liked it, but too many, and we could feel that something was missing. But when I saw it a second time, I liked it better, and then the Ultimate Edition came and confirmed so many things. And when the Ultimate Edition came, I was like, what a miss. Because who now is going to do the effort to go to buy Ultimate Edition to see what... you already disappointed a lot of people that you could have on your side.
Yeah. It was weird, because I feel like sometimes I have a theory that some of the negativity towards the movie was because the press that was hyping it up, or the marketing that was hyping it up as a different type of movie, and then it was bad. Then they market it as bad, just so they don't look like they screwed up, which I think the marketing was the worst part of that, because nothing was wrong with the movie other than the marketing and missing those 30 minutes. Because when a movie is well put together, it doesn't feel as long as it is.
Yeah.
When it's missing stuff, it does feel longer than it is, I always think. And I think generally the people agree. It's just not a topic a lot of people like to talk about, unless you get guys like us, So all my problems with I like BVS, but my problems of what it was missing was all in the Ultimate Edition. So
exactly.
I was great with that. And we got lucky here. I don't know how you got movies over there, but here in the States, we got the theatrical edition on DVD, and the Blu-ray came with theatrical and Ultimate Edition. So if you had to buy the movie on Blu-ray, you got the Ultimate Edition. So I like that. I didn't have to wait for theatrical release and then Ultimate Edition. So I imagine Snyder had to fight for that too,
Yeah, in France we had the theatrical in theater, of course, but theatrical edition, if I'm right, it was only on DVD, and the Blu-ray was automatically or maybe it is somewhere. I think there's 2 Blu-rays, which is super dumb. Like when you buy the Blu-ray, you have the Ultimate Edition and the theatrical edition, 2 Blu-rays in the same box.
Yeah.
That's really stupid. It's even wasting material. We're talking about ecology, but it's like, why are you printing Blu-rays from nothing?
Yeah, I have to watch the first disc for features. That's it, and then the Ultimate Edition is all there. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, man, which is the main problem. So, what got you into fighting for Snyder Cut, or what started that? And did you see like Justice League in theaters first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I believed I didn't really know Toby Emmerich at this time. Maybe most of us, we didn't really know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And I believed him when he said he's going to be Zack's movie. Of course, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? This is not Zack's movie. I mean, the first night I tried so hard to convince myself. But after watching the movie, it's already some element from another movie existing already came out. Like maybe 24. No, on the same night, I remember I was driving with a friend. I was like disappointed, and I already saw on internet that stuff were coming. It was from Kevin Smith talking about Darkseid and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck? They just wrapped the movie. And I tried to convince myself that it was an okay movie. And I saw it with my mom a second time because, of course, I promoted BVS so much around me that, of course, some people wanted to know what I think of this movie, and my mom wanted to see it. And the movie just opened, and you still haven't seen it?
Justice League?
Yeah.
No, I saw it twice because for a month and a half, my sister and I, we tried to convince ourselves it was good, but enough to get a director's cut because we knew something was off. So we played the game of liking it for the company to be happy enough to give us what we want. That's why I'm done doing that, because I tried that for 2 months with Justice League, and that's way too much.
Yeah, of course.
I did try to fool myself, but it wasn't his movie.
Yeah, sure. I tried to convince myself, so I went back with my mom a second time, and when the movie opened with Superman face, she asked me, "Is it the same Superman actor?" I was like, "Fuck, it's done. We cannot save this fucking movie."
Right from the beginning. Oh man!
I was like, okay, I'm going for 2 hours of nightmare, and now at this moment, I started to really see how shitty was the movie, and I started to hate it. And the hate increased as Zack was sharing more, and the more he shared, the more we hated it. Of course.
Man, the injustice is astounding.
Yeah, but the thing.
Hypocritical because the movie's called Justice.
yeah. I've always thought about this, but yeah, to join the fight, I mean, I was I realized that I was already became like a Snyder fighter since Man of Steel, because I don't know, I love the movie so much that when people were telling me no, it's not that good or anything, I was already defending the movie a lot. I was not on Twitter, but it could have been on Facebook, Instagram, or just with friends. Most of the time, it was out of social media.
No, mine were like either colleagues because I was working in LA a lot, and either colleagues or people at the comic book shop. I would have words with these people. So I think we were Snyderverse fans since Defending Man of Steel. Before we got on social media, a lot of us were, because it's the same story, bro.
Yeah, But I did not really need to defend a lot because most people around me loved the two movies. But the BVS had a little more divided a little more because it was the half hour missing. So people who saw it said, oh, "Okay, I understand now. Now I saw the Ultimate Edition. It's of course better, but and the choices that Zach made. I'm sorry. Good. The choices that Zach made for BVS, I quickly understood that it's okay if some people doesn't like it, because I was like, they're all getting fed too much by MCU formula, and BVS is way different, so different that I was like, it's okay. You can't like it. You just told me you love Guardian of the Galaxy or stuff like that. Yeah, you can't. BVS. I mean, some people like both, but I was like, it's just not for you.
Yeah, they're just two different categories, really. Just because it's a comic book movie adaptation, I don't know. There's like genres, you know, like Ninja Turtles and Archie. You know, they're gonna be different.
Yeah, sure. So then, when Justice League came out, I followed the movement from the social media, not on Twitter but on Facebook, because everything that was happening on Twitter was always shared on other social media, and I quickly created a Vero account so I could follow Zach and really see what he's saying and sharing. So I was on Vero and Facebook until 2019, and I came on Twitter. I had an account that I wasn't using anymore, and November 2019, I came on Twitter because the fight was too intense, and I wanted to have my
jump
share.
in.
Yeah, to join the fight. So from 2017 to 2019, I was following on other social media. I was always leaving my Really Snyder account hashtag on Facebook, but it was just a few people, not like on Twitter. And sometimes I felt like maybe we just 10 people. I didn't know.
Yeah, Facebook's weird. I did that too. I did everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter was my main like voicing of this. Facebook was because some corners it didn't seem like there was a lot.
But I didn't know that you were all on Twitter. When I came on Twitter on 2019, I was...
Wait, did you see me on Facebook first?
I'm sorry?
Wait, did you see me on Facebook first or?
Might. Because some stuff you said, like going to the pro wrestling fight with your Really Snyder cut.
Oh, yeah.
Panel was shared. And I was like, who's that guy with the mask? So I saw what you did. And this is what I told you first time we talked together on Twitter. I was like, I recognize you now. I don't know if you remember, but this is one of the first thing I told you. And
I do know. Wow, it's been a journney, man. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm just, like looking back.
That's crazy. But so yeah, I was on Facebook, and I was like, maybe maybe the haters are right. We just 10 people. I mean, every time I fight and every WB post, we just not that much of people. And so I was watching Chris Wong video Ping Pong Flicks show. He was promoting the Snyder Cut a lot, and I was following his video when I'm driving in a car, listening to his videos. And it is thanks to him that I came on Twitter, because he was saying that we should join the fight on Twitter. And when it started to be really intense, when Zach really shared some crazy stuff, I joined Twitter, and I realized I wasn't alone at all. And this is where it
not alone.
But there is another coincidence. It was at the same time, like November 2019, maybe 3, 4, 6 months ago, I was in my personal life happy, working out. But I was a little tired to have the same routine, going to CrossFit, back to work, sleep, eat, CrossFit, back to work, sleep. And I was like, I'd like to have a little something more creative. And I was like, because I'm watching YouTube a lot, and I was watching what you guys were doing, and I remember my not my coach but his wife. She said, "I like what you're sharing on Facebook, not Snyder Cut related, but memes or stuff like that, or jokes, because we had a private Facebook group for the CrossFit for my CrossFit gym, so we were talking on it and laughing on many things, and I was sharing memes." And she said, "I like the way you talk. You should have a blog." And he stayed here, and I was like, "We'll see." And then, just maybe October, I said, "You know what? I'm going to start a blog. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I can talk about movies. I can talk about CrossFit because I'm really passionate about it. I can talk about backpacking, road trips, because I love to travel that way." And at the same time, the hype for the Snyder Cut was going so high. And I was so tired of reading fake news about the Snyder Cut, especially in France. Every time I saw some media talking about Snyder Cut, I was like, "No, you're wrong. This is not what Zach shared on Vero. This is not what he shot." It was always about defending it. And this is, in November, I was like, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to fight on Twitter." And my first article on my blog is going to be about the Snyder Cut. So I wrote just an introduction, and then I realized, but I was like, I'm going to explain to the French the truth about the Snyder Cut. What happened? Because all media, fakest media, bootlicking studio would not really dare to say what happened behind the scene. So I was like, I'm just someone on the internet. I don't care. I can say the truth. Nobody's going to fire me or something like that. And I really, for me, it was important for people to realize that everything the studio has done was just wrong. And everything the media were saying was wrong too. They were just lying. Because at this time, we then realized that Toby Emmerich was just a liar, and Jeff Jones and everything. So I joined the fight, and at the same time I was like, "Okay, let's go. I just want to do my part." So I started. It was hard to write my articles and drive at the same time. Work, when I'm talking about driving, my job.
Okay, I was like, "Dang, dude, you're like, I'll get you there." Snyder Cut.
No, same time, like on 24 hours. Sometimes I was driving, waiting for my passengers. Writing a little bit on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 10 minutes. Let's just focus for 10 minutes. And sometimes I was driving and with my passengers. So of course I'm driving. I cannot be focused on that. But some of them were not talking to me. But in my mind, in my head, I was still thinking about my next chapter. And then I was like, "Shit, I'm going to forget." I have to keep thinking about it because if I don't write it as soon as I can, I'm going to forget. And but yeah, I did it, and then COVID hit, so we all had plenty of time, and I just kept going writing my blog. It's 7 episodes of 7 articles where I was telling the hard truth about the Snyder Cut. So this is how I joined.
We gotta put those links in the details, so you guys send me them so I could just organize it here so people could do it, and I can Google translate that. Again,
easy. Earth214.com.
Hey, yeah, there you go, people. But still, you gotta put the links so people are like easy. They don't have to try; just get to you quicker. And dang, that's so awesome, man. Because when COVID happened, my family and helping raise my kid, my niece, and fighting for Snyder Cut, I think it held it down through that difficult time for everybody, at least mentally. And then, the mind is very powerful. If you have a strong mindset, you can get through a lot of difficult times like that.
Sure.
Because we had financial burdens, we had all different kinds of issues. And in a way, this movement kind of proved very heroic in a time of despair, because hope is important.
Yeah, sure.
So How'd you feel? Oh shit, I spat. I don't know if you saw that. But how do you feel about when the Snyder Cut was announced?
Ah man, I didn't sleep, man. Let me tell you.
How did you find out, or when? Did you watch the Man of Steel watch party? Or
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I drove like crazy to be on time.
I had work. I could not. I had two friends,
because it was in the morning for you. But
it was the morning for me.
But
that's evening for you, right? Because it was around noontime.
It was 5 p.m. and I left my job at 4:30.
It was morning then.
5 p.m. for us, 5 o'clock, and I left my job at 4:30, and I drove like Batfleck, purchasing the kryptonite. I drove like crazy.
I feel sorry for the people around you. Oh man,
it was a crazy time because at this moment, quarantine just ended. And after 3 months of quarantine, we were at home. We were just, doing nothing, waiting for the quarantine to end. I couldn't work from home, so I just had to wait. And I was sleeping late. So, and when they just ended the quarantine, we already started 2 weeks of Ramadan. And the holy month of Ramadan was a little hard because in France the sunset is really late. So
I remember you telling me this when I was wishing you happy Ramadan and all that.
Yeah,
because I knew you were celebrating, and then I found out it was so later. I was like, oh, that's harsh. You have to wait later to eat.
Yeah, I mean in summer it's 10 p.m. You start at something like 4:30 a.m. and you eat at 10 p.m.
See, it's like tricky. Ours go down around 8 over here.
It's really long. So sometimes we try to sleep until
or 7,
11 a.m. something like that. So
wow.
I was a vampire. Yeah. I was a bat. I was living. I was going to sleep really late, and at this time I still was a teacher. Like I'm chauffeuring every day, but I was also training the future driver. So they can pass their test and get the license, and I had to go back after quarantine during Ramadan in the summer, go back to work, talk all day long to some people, and I was tired, thirsty, and with only 2 hours of sleep every night. So it was a little hard. And I remember just 48 hours before the screening, the Man of Steel screening, I went home super tired. I had a nap, and when I woke up at 8 o'clock p.m., I saw Zach on Twitter and Vero join me this Wednesday to watch Man of Steel, and we won. We fucking won. He's gonna announce. And I couldn't sleep for 48 hours because you remember the timeline was super crazy. The Twitter was so. These was the days. These were the good days, man.
Yeah.
Everyone was sharing positive vibe. We won, man. That was super crazy.
That was the happiest lunch break I've ever had in my life at work.
Yeah.
Because on lunch break I was just looking through it all. I teared up, and I had to talk about it on my channel like when I got home. But man, I remember those feelings, man.
Man, when the movie ended, and
what movie? Man of Steel? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we were the screening with Zach on Vero. When it ended, and Henry Cavill just by surprise joined the chat. I mean, my poor mama, she was sleeping on the couch having a nap because Ramadan, you're tired. So, and I was tired on the couch, and I said, "What the fuck?" and my poor mama, I frightened her. She had a jump scare. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, just when he showed up.
And they announced the movie, and the day after, in the morning, I was still in the same mood, super tired, no sleep, blah blah blah. And I went to work, and like Joker would say, I just put a smile on this happy face. I mean, I was like, I was almost, I felt so light. I mean, like a burden, like Frodo just through the ring in the fire. I was like, it's done, man. It's done.
Yeah. Wow. I still have that feeling when I watched the movie again. Man of Steel, actually.
Yeah.
And Man of Steel, and actually any of them, but sometimes now I have to be ready to watch Snyder Cut, because when I watch it, it's just like, it's a lot of feelings, and it's so good. So anyways, yeah, go on.
I'm afraid I will always love this movie, the Snyder Cut, but I'm afraid that it might become BVS. What I mean is that BVS used to be the movie I liked. I was watching like, damn, I fucking love this movie, and I'll never get a sequel. So I love this movie, and at the same time, this movie pains me. And I'm afraid that, I mean, I gotta be strong, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have that same feeling too, but it's not as torturous as BVS for me, because the difference I feel with BVS to Snyder Cut is that we had Snyder Cut ready, waiting. It's there. Yeah. It's just not.
It exists.
Like, come on, it exists. And people are like, no, it's locked away. It doesn't exist. It only exists when it hits a print. I don't get that. That's a huge cop out. It's like, come on, man, that's dumb. You know.
Yes, at least we have it, and of course, it's not like trying to convince a studio to produce a new movie. It was like, you have it and you don't want to give it to me. So it's a different feeling. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like, as you said, the feeling is not as torturous, but still a little bit. But at least, I mean, if we never get a sequel, at least we can still imagine. We have an idea of what would have been, and we have this 4 hours masterpiece. But when you watch the movie and you see how well the character development goes, from Cyborg in the beginning being that dark man, angry man, becoming, accepting who he is in the end. I'm not broken and not alone, and stuff like that. And you see, what could have been, motherfucker?
He was going to get his own film too, right after this.
I know.
Oh man, it's like so much. And this is where this is apart from now Snyder Cut to Snyderverse. I think maybe I feel like a lot of us in different ways enjoyed the success of our hard work, our triumph, you know, for Zach, and this is good for him. We got this. And I feel it's a different type of journey to Snyderverse restoration.
Yes.
That is similar to our sister movement, the Alita Army. Yeah. Give Alita her sequel.
Yes.
And I try my best to keep eye on how they're moving, because they did a lot for our movement. If they need something, you know, a tweet, I'll try and do what I can, you know. That's why Alita's in my show. So it's like, I appreciate that. But now I appreciate what they go through more, because we're in their boat now too. They have a fantastic movie that is loved and beautiful, Alita Battle Angel. Snyder Cut is that Alita Battle Angel, because now we're in the same group. Like, yo, we want more. Green light making these movies with the director, and that's where it is ever. And I feel, and maybe this is a new topic of current events I will get to, but I feel that's where we're at. And I feel like we can't expect, it doesn't make sense to expect the same type of battle plan or promotions or type of campaigning results as Snyder Cut, because that was like Super Mario Brothers. It's like our princess is in another castle. You know, we gotta get her. You know, save her, save the day, da da da. Because there's actually something there that needs to be liberated. But now it's like, hey, we encourage and hope you guys go in this direction because that's where we want to go. And it's like that Battle Angel Alita, because even in that one, it ends the same as Snyder Cut. Like there's more to the story. You know, there's a journey that just got laid out, and we're going to continue that journey. And they've been through a lot, and they haven't, you know, they only got not as much wins as we have, but they've gotten some good stuff, like that news of, like, I think the studio looking into a possible Alita sequel. Like, remember that news hit like a week ago or so?
Yeah, recently I heard that.
Yeah,
it was like they won.
Yeah, it was like that. And then, you know, they've been fighting for how long? Long as us, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
And no, wait, Alita came out 2019, I think.
I don't remember, but it's
around there. But it's like the same age as us. So I'm thinking now we're here. We're at year one of the completion of year one for Snyderverse, essentially. And I feel it's just going to be its own thing. You know, and similar to that, it's just different. It's just, I think people are used to a pattern of different things. I don't know, but yeah, there we go. So with that being said, I guess we could go to how did you love Snyder Cut? I'll go back to this topic in a bit, but
you just can't leave that topic.
No, because we went through BBS. Now we're at Snyder Cut. Sure. How did you watch it? And
I was invited by WB to. No, I was invited by Zach. I mean, WB friends contacted me and told me that Zack Snyder wanted the fans to watch it first before the journalists, even if we know that some journalists got some virtual ticket. But so they told me they went on Twitter and they looked who was the most active people in France, and they had to choose 3, and I was in the top 3. So, so I was happy. And you know what? We had the link for something like 48 hours, and during the 48 hours or 72, I don't remember. We were allowed to watch it as much as we can, as much as we wanted. And I was not available. I had to help my aunt to move from Paris to a city for 500 kilometers from Paris. So I helped her to put everything in the truck, and I drove the truck from Paris the 500 kilometers, knowing that people were watching the Snyder Cut. I was like, I'm driving this fucking truck on the highway. There's a lot of wind. The truck is doing like this. And I'm like, why am I here after that long work? But anyway, so I went back to Paris as just the day after. We got in her city at something like midnight, and I took the first train in the morning. I went back to Paris and I watched the movie. The first time I liked it, but like my friend said, Joss Whedon's ghost was still in the room. I was not watching the movie like discovering a new movie. I was watching, and at the same time, I was like, is Aquaman going to say, do you speak to fish? Is Aquaman... I was analyzing, is that shitty scene still there or not? And 99% of the scene I did not like were not there. But I wasn't entirely focused on the movie. I was just focused on analyzing the movie. So I was like, yeah, it's a good movie, but it's really good. But I don't know. And I knew, I mean, the WB called me maybe 2 weeks or 10 days before the D-Day. So I already planned to watch the movie with about 15 friends. We used the projector of my training, my work in my office, and we turned my office into a movie theater for the night. It was funny because it was the curfew, so we were alone. The only people in this big building watching a movie in a classroom. But anyway, so I knew that after I saw the movie for the first time, I knew that I was about to see it 4 days after. Well, I saw it on a Sunday, and or maybe on a Monday, and no Sunday anyway. And the official release was on the Thursday. So of course I couldn't watch the movie anymore. The link was over, and it was okay for me. I was okay to wait. And my second screening, Joss Whedon Ghost, just vanished. He wasn't there anymore. I was with all my friends in the room, packed a lot of popcorn, M&Ms, and candies, and a lot of nasty
I
kids.
saw that. I saw your pictures. Oh,
yeah, and we made a cake, a Justice League cake. Amazing, because a friend of mine, he's a pastry baker. Yeah,
and we call them bakers.
And he does some cakes.
Oh.
And we have passion fruit and mango, so you know.
Oh, that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah. and when the movie started, I was enjoying the movie and watching my friends, and they were like that. They just couldn't move their eyes on screen, and you could hear the flies. I was like, okay. They're in the movie. Everyone loved the movie. We made a break after the fourth or fifth chapter, I don't remember, and only 1 hour and a half was left. Just a little break, and some people asked me, how long have we watched? And I told them, we just have 1 hour and a half to go. And they were like, that's it? Wow. I didn't see the time passing. Everyone loved the movie, and me, I already got my slap on this one. And the Speed Force, in the end, everyone was getting crazy on the Speed Force. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah, such a fantastic film.
Yeah,
it was hard to unwatch Justice League in our mind, because we knew it so well, because we were analyzing it. We saw the posts of what was different, what was changed.
Yeah, and I worked on the movie. Oh. I worked on my blog, and I was doing a lot of comparison between what we saw in theaters and what Zach shared. So even if I hated this movie, it was still fresh in my mind as a reference, because I worked on my blog for all the COVID and worked so much. So when I watched it when I watched the Snyder Cut for the first time, it was. Like I said, my computer didn't want to shut his mouth, analyzing every scene. And the second time, I wasn't analyzing anymore. I was just enjoying what was on screen, and I loved it like crazy.
Hell yeah, man, that's beautiful. Oh, man, it's like I don't remember that movie as much anymore. I used to watch a lot of fan edits of it to make it a little more Snyder-like. But yeah, I watched it enough to just know the Snyder Cut even more so, and it's like man, I love that movie. I watched it like 15 minutes after the live premiere because I was still working on Snyder Cut Fighters. I was late on technical details, so I was just like, I'm all tired. I was like, okay. So all my thoughts of anything beforehand were just too tired to hold. I just embraced it in the moment. Maybe I was like tired drunk or whatever, but it enhanced the experience. Like by the time it was done, I was just in tears of like gratitude, thanks, and happiness. It's like, wow, what a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that it's 4 hours long, unapologetically. It doesn't even feel that long. It's great.
No. Nobody felt that the movie was supposed to be a long movie. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone told me you just don't feel it.
Yeah, it's so good. Like
And my friend, it's not like
Uh-huh.
the hardcore fans like me. Some were just regular fans, if that exists, and and they were like, they loved it as much as everyone.
Yep. What's cool is my family knew how hard I worked on it, or worked promoting it. I didn't work on it. With everything we've done. So we had a little, for their first time watching it, they held like a little, we had dinner at my sister's house. She was hosting.
Cool.
We got on her whole screen and the whole family watched. And because I guess some people are familiar with bots. You know, I had my friends and family to help out. So my friends and family, they donated to AFSP. They bought T-shirts. You know, they all got HBO Max just for Snyder Cut. You know, and we all watched it together. You know, because as we learned while I was setting up, I'm not as technically savvy, but I'm creative, not technically savvy. So I just had people, and man, it's like the common audience, they feel what we are passionate about, you know. We're just like way more into it. And,
but I also believe that the general audience, they just don't need us to love it. They just naturally love it.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Of course, not 100% because this does not exist, but most of people, they have a good time. It's like a Lord of the Ring movie. It brings you in a journey, because you see the characters' journeys, and you see it's the evolution, if that works in English, but the way they evolve.
Yeah.
You want to know more every time.
Or progression.
Yes, progression. And I still, for me, it's hard to choose who has the best progression, because they all. This is what the beauty of the movie. Every character, maybe Aquaman a little less, and Wonder Woman a little less because they had their own movie planned. But Cyborg, Batman, Flash, Superman, they all have a conclusion and ready to become more. It's just so well done. And what speaks to me the most, even if I really love At the Speed Force like crazy, it's probably Victor Stone. I'm Not Broken and Not Alone. It's something really, really hard. It hits, especially when you know Zach's story behind this movie.
Yeah.
Everything we've done, AFSP and everything, you're like, it's just amazing.
It is.
I'm speechless.
So I guess you can go back to, well, first off, you've done great with your channel. I have to say, you interview as many people you can. You do what you can on your platform, voicing good stuff for the movement. You know, I'm sorry, I don't know French. You know, I watch your videos and I pick up on words like, oh, Snyder, you know, Snyder cut. And, you know, I wait for when you guys say we. I was like, oh, I know that one.
But there's the subtitles.
Yeah, there's subtitles. I like that you go through that effort too. But at first, when I heard that,
for this, so you have to
yeah, we got to. But I remember in the very, very beginning or something, it's just so cool because we are worldwide, you know.
Yeah.
And I like seeing that we have so many voices of people worldwide showing their stuff, and I love that, man. And like your recent video where you're going to people on the street, and that video got a lot of love, where you're just asking people about, you know, Snyder Cut, and that was awesome. How did that start? And you had help, right?
Yeah, I had help. A friend of mine, he used my phone to shot the videos, and I just I had this idea because it's now becoming something with YouTube. A lot of people are doing street interviews about anything, and I was watching that one last winter, and I had the idea. I was like, man, I should do the same for the Snyder Cut. because I am 100% sure that most people who have seen the movie are going to like it. I mean, loved it already. I'm sure. For me, it's not a question that the general audience love the movie. The haters on Twitter, they love to say that it's not the case, blah 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 blah. But man, how can a movie be so hated if it has 8.5 on IMDb or stuff like that? I mean, the movie is well loved, and I had a ton of stories of people I met in the street before shooting the videos who love the movie. Some recognize my shirt. When I did the screening with my friends for the release of the movie, my classroom is a big classroom with big windows, and there's a big spotlight outside. And even at night when we turned the light off, it was disturbing to have this big spotlight. And there's no how can I say in English? I forgot the name. To cover the window. We had nothing to hide the light. So
like blinders or blinds or
yeah.
Okay.
So I went to damn, that's going to. This is too English for me. I went to a store where you buy stuff for home, for construction, and I bought a lot of black plastic like Dexter Morgan, and I just covered all the windows. So when I was at the store, I asked to the guy, I'm looking for a big plastic, black plastic to put. I told him I'm gonna watch a movie with friends in my office, and we have to cover the windows because there's a light outside. And it was just 1 or 2 days before the release of the movie, and I told him that. He told me, "Is it for 4-hour movies?" I was like, "Damn right, man." But he asked with so many stars in his eyes. He was like, "This is for 4-hour movies." I was, "Yeah, man, this is for this fucking movie." I have many stories like that. So yeah, I had this idea that, you know what, I'll go in front of my favorite theaters in Paris, and the people going to the theaters, most of them know about this story. I'm gonna ask, we'll see, but I'm sure I'm gonna win. By win, what I call winning is to have more people loving the movies than the opposite. And I kept everyone. Some people might not believe, but I don't care. But I kept everyone. And there is two. It's interesting because we can talk about it now. You can see what I was talking with some people in front of the theaters, and you can see there's some stairs behind us. We are downstairs. All these people were going into the theaters, and there's another day of shooting. It was in front of another theater I love, and it's a video. Every videos that are very sunny. We were in front, but a lot of people were passing in front and not going into theaters. So we had people that were not really into movies. My first goal was to talk to people going into the theaters, because these people are focused on movies. And still, we had people saying, "We love the Snyder Cut."
Yay!
So it was a ton of work, and I was very happy in the end to just prove my point. You go, you ask, you have the answer. That's it.
Man, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Man, so with all that love, where we're at now, earlier before we started this, we were talking about current events, James Gunn's decisions or something like that. How do you feel about all that?
When he was announced as the CEO of DC Studio, I almost did not sleep, because it was 10:30 p.m. So it was late at night for us in France. I was maybe watching TV or stuff like that. No! I think I was working on my street interview. I forgot, man. I was doing something for the movement. I don't remember what it was. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a little break. And I just watched my DM on Twitter, and a friend sent me the news. My eyes saw DC Studio, James Gunn. I was like, no. And then I thought, this must be a motherfucking fake news. And I just read no, this is not the real account. And it was all official. And I was like, we are fucked. That's it. That's how I thought. And I was so angry. And I don't remember if Henry Cavill Returns was announced the day after or 1 day or 1 or 2 days before.
I think it was sometime after.
After. So when he was announced, I wasn't that passionate about it because I was doubting. And I was like, maybe. Oh no, I think it was before.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe it was before.
It doesn't change anything yet. But just to say that our emotions are going on a roller coaster again. And how I feel, I'm gonna say what I said to anyone. I don't like his directing style. I don't like his humor. I don't like how he's talking on social media. I don't like how he wants to point that some fandom has toxic people, but he always chose only people from our fandom. I mean, I don't want to talk about his past, but I don't like it. And also, I don't like his movies. So, I mean, when you don't like all of these and you just learn that this guy has been chosen, really hard to find the positivity into this, you know. And for all the people saying he's Zach's friends, he's really more Toby Emmerich friends than Zach's friends.
That's what it looks like, because
it is 100%.
Man,
you remember James Gunn Superman?
Mm-hmm. See, I'm trying to look back at the main fact that Snyder is at Netflix right now.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder is finishing his thing, and it takes a lot of passion to do his work, you know. Again, new film of his coming out, so I don't see any return of him to do his thing with DC Snyderverse, which is DC, and until he's done with that, and that's when I expect him to be back and do stuff. So the time in between, not to sound heartless or cruel or anything, it's not Snyder. It's not been Snyderverse. It's just been DC movies with his casting and, you know, leftover crumbs from his universe in a way. So I'm surprised but not shocked.
Mm.
You know, they'll do decisions to keep it afloat or whatever, but we haven't had Snyderverse since Snyder Cut got released. You know, that's all Snyderverse we have. If anything, release the Air Cut. That's a piece of Snyderverse too, and that's all we got going right now. So the rest has to be greenlit. And I get some people love Henry Cavill as Superman, but he could be recasted again. Letting him go just means that they can invest in a different actor to portray Superman to keep Superman IP going in the market. That's all I see it, because Snyder's verse isn't coming back. And I think, because it's all entertainment. It's all different projects, different movies, different comic books, different stories. So I'm just back when Snyderverse is back, because I'm really, like you said how Frodo, you know, he got rid of the ring, the weight is lifted, but he's tired.
Of course.
I feel tired, and
that's
why I can't keep up with all this crap that's going until Snyderverse is here, if at all. So I'm just chilling out in the West, and, you know, with Frodo and all that stuff, and I'll be back when Snyder is. It's very simple. But the thing is, I feel in that time, we have so much now more than before Snyder Cut to celebrate Snyderverse. Like, you know, your video, what you're doing that without knowing what WB's doing. They were making all these non-Snyderverse decisions, but you come up with your own Snyderverse decision to celebrate Snyderverse, and that brought a lot of joy, a lot of love and hype to Snyderverse, and with Snyder Cut. And I believe that's what got us to get the Snyder Cut out. That's what's going to help promote Snyderverse and continuation forward.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and I don't buy this old thing. You know, we got Indiana Jones 5 coming out, man. It's like, you know, anything's possible with movie magic, and we have the greatest movie magician ever, Zack Snyder. I think all our plans to do more fun stuff to promote Snyderverse, still talk about it and all this, I think that's the best thing to go in, because if we follow these people who are not doing Snyderverse, it's going to be depressing in some way or form, or it's going to be false hope in some shape or form.
Yeah.
Because, man, I love what you're doing. What you do getting me hype up. If I look at what they're doing, I'm like,
thank you.
And I think that's what's important.
Yeah, for me, everything that happened since 2017 until Snyder Cut release is a proof that everything is possible. Because from 2017 to 2019, hope was really low. It started to really increase when we got the 1 million tweets, and I believe that WB proved enough that anything is possible, and not really in a good way, just because they are losing money. They need to make money. Discovery already want to sell the company. Imagine purchasing such a big company and you're like, you know what, I already want to sell it. So they are hyping people about a 10-year plan with a James Gunn who has a 4-year contract with a company that might be sold in 1 or 2 years after the legal minimum time they have to keep the company. There's many things that does not really make sense.
Yeah, because I was talking with my boy Reasons I'm Broke on this show, and he pointed out that for Zaslav to get his changes going, it should take 5 years for that to happen, with everything else already in motion. And I believe that. So 5 years, when that's done, James Gunn's thing is done. 5 years, the success and whatever they're putting out for Army of the Dead universe and the Rebel Moon universe will be out. So I'm saying that 4 years we got, we'll either see a great change with WB sold off if it doesn't stay afloat, or we'll see a big window for Snyder to come back. What are we going to do from now until then is my question to everybody.
Can you say again, what's the thing about the 5 years?
So Zaslav, when my friend David, for Reasons I'm Broke, he said he analyzed should take 5 years to make great changes to WB to change it to the way he wants.
Okay.
And that time is because we're approaching the 4 years for James Gunn. He'll be done. At that same time, there'll be change at WB according to the new leadership. Because everything is remainders or what's already on this, delivery belt of what's been coming out. So at that time, I think that's the biggest window where Zack Snyder can come back with what he's doing at Netflix will be accomplished. So that's why I think in that time, we do what we can.
In my opinion, James Gunn has a 4-year contract, but you know what? You see how they throw people to the trash easily at WB.
This is true.
So everything can happen if his Superman movie flops, or not even before the production of Superman. We never know what can happen, and so we will see. And I believe that also all the fandoms really we need to have the same goal. In my opinion, everything that is about having the first slate, we need to focus on, in my opinion, Justice League 2, Justice League 3.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
If that works, the studio might ask for more, but in my opinion, asking the studio to do every movie, I would love to have, like Cyborg movie, Batfleck movie. It's too many goals.
Yeah.
One goal that makes sense today is Justice League 2 and 3, because the Snyder Cut exists, is loved, and made money.
And
then,
if I may,
yeah, and this
is
yeah. Just let me just finish on that.
Yes, you.
Thank you, because I'm gonna forget. I always forget. For me, the Snyderverse, like we used to fight for, having an ending to Justice League would already be huge. More Batfleck, more Superman, more the Dark Side, the New Gods, the Green Lantern, everything. A Lord of the Rings saga, but 5 movies. And then we see what can happen. It's already a lot. And for me, it's enough. Because I'm not a you should move on guy, but about having, you know what, bring back all the, I mean, I can't remember now, but all the movies from the first late would be really, it's already very hard to convince a studio to make an Alita sequel or a Justice League sequel, especially a rotten studio like WB. So how do you think you can convince them to do all this late once, step by step, in my opinion? And if we all focus on that, that will work. Because when we all come with, I have an idea, a Superman 2 movie might work. Yes, of course, because of Henry Cavill, we've seen the hype. A Cyborg movie, yes, because I really love Victor Stone, but my heart is speaking. It's just my heart. And unfortunately, it's not always enough in front of the studio. But this is not my heart, it's a fact. And it really, for me, it should be the focus. I think so.
No, I agree with you. Because to add on that, Zach has proven in the time of one production, he can film enough for 2, maybe 3 movies in one production. So I'm just saying, give him the keys, really greenlight him for one production to do his thing, and he will provide. And then when that's done, see where we go.
Yes, and I would rather have 2 more Justice League movies than 1 Man of Steel, 1 Batfleck, 1 this, 1 that. Give me already 2 Justice League movies inspired by Lord of the Rings, Mad Max Fury Road, and DC Comics, of course. Give me that shit, and then if we can have more, it's a bonus, and I would love to have it. I mean, I was so happy to talk about Ben Affleck directing a Batman trilogy. I was like, damn, BVS was already good, but having 3 times this, it's gonna be crazy. And I hate not having it, but things change, and we've been on a journey for Justice League for Zach. And if Zach has to come back, I mean, why not? We never know what can happen. But for now, because this is really my personal thoughts, but I believe that James Gunn and Zach are 2 different people. Like James Gunn, he had the benefits of Toby Emmerich choosing him as a favorite. Do whatever the fuck you want. Not my words, that Toby Emmerich's words. And now he's DC Studio, and I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe behind the scenes might be an easy guy for the negotiation. But Zach has proven to the studio that as an artist, he's not going to let the studio step on his feet. And we proved to the studio so many times how wrong they were. But he helped us to prove them wrong. He shared pictures. They were probably very, very unhappy about this. He shared pictures. He laughed about them. And I'm really happy he did so. And he just proved he's a badass. He doesn't give a fuck about the studio, and not going to, sorry from the words, but it is what I really believe, he's not going to butt lick a studio just to get a deal. So
wait, you think butt lick is worse than fuck?
sorry.
You know, grammar wise or word wise, I don't know. I think that's funny, man.
Yeah. But anyway, so any big company doesn't like the employee, even if it's not an employee, but you know the metaphor, doesn't like the employee that has go against the wind, that has ideas, even if it's for the good. They're like, this guy want to be a leader, just put him in the corner. And you don't need to be a movie director to experience this. I know people around me that had issues at work, and they decided to talk, and because they talk, now they have more trouble because they are saying this doesn't work, or this doesn't, or someone did that to me. You know, I'm not talking about snitching, but I'm talking about real problem. Like I cannot find my word in English now, but anyway, in my opinion, in a big company, it's always like that. They don't want you to have too many big ideas. They just want you to shut your fuck up and do your work. So we, the big guys, we, the suits, make the decision, and we cash the millions. So I believe that I even forgot why I started with this, but there are two different peoples. And that's why having him back leading the whole DCEU, not sure. Because himself wouldn't want to have so many notes. And it's well known that in Hollywood, there's people who have notes, shut the fuck up, do the notes, and get the job. And there's the one who has to fight for the movies. A guy like James Cameron can say to an exec, get the fuck out of my office. Get the fuck out of my office. I mean, it's a different topic and a different director.
No, but that's the thing. I think because they are different directors and they have different in-company prestige or whatever, they're treated differently. Because if they treated Zack Snyder as well as they treat other directors like James Gunn, we'd have probably a way more different story now. Or treat just Zack Snyder as people treat Christopher Nolan, you know, because I feel they're all at that caliber. But I do know you have to wrap up soon.
No. Yeah, I was translating.
Oh, it's all good. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Yeah, it was just when I was looking for my word, I was talking about. I know someone who just was under sexual assault. I don't know how to translate.
Like harassment,
harassment,
sexually,
sexually
abused, attacked.
Yeah, abused. Not rape. If it's
no, I know what you mean. Yeah,
not that much, but got.
It's like sexual disrespect.
Yeah, and the person decided to talk, and because of that, living a nightmare. Because it's an exec, a suit. Not supposed to happen like that, you know. So it's Hollywood probably more rotten than every big corporate world where the suit just doesn't want you to open your mouth. They just want you to. So my opinion is the same.
No, my opinion is very I tried to work my way into Hollywood to be, you know, in the seat of a director seat at studios, because I grew up thinking, okay, studios are how you make movies. But as I get in the industry, I found out, no, there's other ways to make movies. It's worldwide. It's not just this tiny niche. And there's so many revolving doors and so much arrogance and so much negativity. And there's so much selling out in order to move up. And I could not do that. And I have many stories about that. I'll probably talk more on my channel. But there's a lot of it's a maze to success. And if you go the wrong way, you could sell out and be used and abused. Or you stick to your values and kick to the curb. and you're in debt. That's what happened to me. But I have my dignity. I'm okay with that. But
yeah,
it's crazy to see that no matter what level of success or fame you are in film, someone like Zack Snyder can be treated just as crappy.
yeah.
And Ray Fisher as well. And
I was about to mention him. Look at Ray
Mhm.
Fisher. He's the only one who opened his mouth.
And then there's
And
repercussions.
I was happy he made it, and was like, it's too bad other people are afraid to do it. But I mean, Zach.
Because this is a lot of people. This is how they pay their bills and all that. And a lot.
Of course.
I don't know. Everyone's got different things, but
Yeah.
I really appreciate Ray Fisher for standing up. What he said, sometimes you have to give up what you love to do what's right. And me
That's
saying,
great.
yeah, and me not wanting to watch movies that I feel are tainted, not even the comic books I feel consciously safe or morally safe supporting, because I know who's still over there. And I too have taken that to heart and give up what I love to do what's right. And I have other stuff to enjoy in life, and I have Snyderverse to enjoy promoting and talking about. So
Sure.
because if I'm in that, there's just disappointment and false hope when you hold on to what you love when it's being given to you by villains who put us in this situation in the first place that are still in power.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of stress I see online, and that's disheartening everybody. But it's not Snyderverse. Snyderverse is not here yet. So I kind of wish that this outburst for Henry Cavill losing the role of Superman was there for Ray Fisher when he became public with what was going on with him. But that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
But on that note, we have so much we could we have to do and celebrate, because now we have Snyder Cut. We have that vindication. I think a lot of times we forget that. We have so many things we're still doing for it. And I think we should keep going on, man, because that's what makes us happy. If we look at the other stuff, it's going to make us sad. So
for sure,
we got to be like Alita Army, stay strong.
Exactly. We got to share some positivity and keep doing the stuff we need to do, at least because it's fun. I mean, doing the video I've done, for example, it was a lot of work, but it was fun at the same time. And if you can bring more awareness to the cause, why not?
Hell yeah.
I mean, you cannot erase the fact that people have seen the movie and want more and are disappointed. And there's always real true DC fans talking about that James Gunn is saving DC, but I see a lot of negativity around the announcement of his Superman announcement. So we'll see. I also saw that a lot of people are going to turn their vest when they're going to see a first picture or trailer. Because I believe
I'm done with that.
Yeah, because I believe some people just want toys to play with. And I'm like, man, no, not for me.
Yeah, I feel you on that, brother.
Yeah.
Well, anything you want to say for the audience before we bid adieu?
Man, I'm happy we finally done this podcast. I mean, we wanted to do it for a long time now, so we're gonna do another for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot sooner too. I got things set up,
Yeah. Now I'm a little too wild on social media. Maybe I'm gonna come back in my wiser mode.
Come by when I do some more Snyder Fighters, man. You guys are still killing it. I think you and Mighty Pegasus are doing awesome in the game, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, sometimes the negativity, bad news is actually bad for your mind if you feel too much of that. So we have other stuff to do. We gotta stay strong because the fight continues and it's different. So we gotta, be like Bruce Lee says, be like water. Exactly. It can fit into any container. It seems weak, but it can penetrate rock. Be adaptable and flowing like water. And we got to keep going. Flowing water never goes stale. You just got to keep going, man. So
everything that has to happen will happen anyway.
Yeah. And if we're in doubt, we have each other. And y'all go to Souphian's channel. Check him out on social. I'll put all the links in here by the time it goes live. This is pre-recorded. But yeah, give him much love. I love this guy, my mon ami, and restore the Snyderverse,
Yeah. Thanks, man. I'm very, very happy we made it. We're gonna do it again,
this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, and we didn't even call. I'm not talking about doing a video, but just have a call for a long time. So I'm happy we finally.
Yeah, I miss you, bro. This is good.
Miss you too, man.
All right, much love, everybody.
9-hour time zone is not easy.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll change when daylight savings happens. Do you guys do daylight savings?
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's gonna change that much. Maybe one.
Okay, never mind. We'll figure it out.
We'll find a way, like always.
Yeah, always. All right, much love, everybody. God bless, and follow and support Souphian, my man. Fist bump.
No,
fist bump.
Fist bump.
No, punch. No, fist bump. Like punch. This is Superman, man. The other way. Get the camera. And the other way. You're almost there.
I'm too bad at this.
Almost there. And then break. Ah! Okay, we tried. Catch you later, everyone.
See you.
If you believe in Restore the Snyderverse, support it. Keep it going. Bringing back Zack Snyder's the only one who could continue his story. Bring back Zack Snyder, and we need Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and Zack Snyder's Justice League 3. And of course, release the Air Cut. Much love to Alita Army. Give Alita her sequel, which I think is coming too. So just spread more love. Don't worry about the negativity, because the negativity and course change, it's been going on this whole time. Just sugar-coated, trying to look like something else. Just trying to sell you. I don't know. Feels like a lot of emotional blackmail to get into the movie theaters these days for movies that and content that they want to give to you, but also they want to do stuff for themselves. But, you know, I'll save that for next time. But, yo, thank you so much for watching. Follow Souphian, and I'll see you next time in the next video, episode, podcast, whatever we do here. You know what's up right here on my channel, the Kojay Verse. All right. Catch you later.